What's going on, guys? It's Salvaje. So this is going to be an XL Quest Hunter play-by-play. Basically, I'm going to be going over every single one of my decisions that I always take every time I face a Quest Priest in Hearthstone. Before, of course, the Castle Nathria expansion. Keep that in mind. This is the deck that I also used to reach Legend, and I only lost to Quest Priest once playing XL Quest Hunter, and it's because their Mutanus ate my Tavish. Alright, the first key to victory is making sure that you have the right cards on your Mulligan Phase. So most of the time I want to have either Tracking or Dunbald and Bunker or Conch Call or Multicaster. Spring the Trap can also help. Ferocious Howl is really good as well because it gives you card draw. And Barak Kodo Bane I actually have kept as well in one game. And you would pretty much think, oh, you know what, Barak Kodak Bane, for example, is really slow, or Conch Call is really slow. I've had games on my way to Legend where these quest priests are sort of high rolling their quest at first, and at the end of the day, I always beat them, right? The strategy that that what I'm pretty much employing is I'm pretty much building value in the early game by sort of trying to complete my quest, as you guys are going to be seeing in the gameplay in the background. But I'm also trying to make sure that I'm getting some card draw so that I can completely annihilate the enemy hero in the late game. With that said, I want to talk about this video sponsor really quick. It's going to be hand soap and body wash. Now, I use any type of hand soap or any type of body wash. I don't really mind. The reason why I use any type of hand soap and any type of body wash is because after I'm done pulling off these nasty plays against these ferocious quest priests and pretty much every single person in the Hearthstone Legend ladder, I do want to feel very clean. And that's where hand soap and body wash come in. I highly recommend that you guys add it into your routine after you're done with your XL Quest Hunter games, so that you guys are actually able to remain clean, healthy, and hygienic. Again, thank you to this video sponsor, Hand Soap and Body Wash, for helping me stay clean during all of the nasty plays. Let's get back into the video and start breaking down the gameplay. Alright, so I'm going to take you guys back to turn 1, and let's go ahead and break this down. I almost made a fatal mistake. I almost casted the Bard Nets, I went for tracking, right? Like I said, tracking is really useful. I have a multicaster in my hand, so ideally I want to make sure that I get either Explosive Trap or that I get an Arcane Shot, because it's going to either give my multicaster more card draw, or it's of course going to complete my quest. Both of those things benefit the goal of this deck, which is of course completing the quest as fast as possible. Now, I did say that I do like to complete the quest like here and there a little bit towards the early game, and then of course also focus on getting some value with card draw. That's why I went for the Shell Shot here. The reason why I went for the Shell Shot instead of the Conscious Skull is because I know I already have the Nature in the spell pool for my multicaster, so that I can get more draw from my multicaster. And again, guys, beating quest priests with XL Quest Hunter, from what I've seen and from my experience, it's all about having that value, right? I'm going to put the coin here, and I'm going to activate this trap, which is actually going to benefit me, as you guys are going to see. And I actually could have played the multicaster there. I wanted to go for the Conscious Call just because I wanted to have a little bit of more value in my hand. And another thing that I want to point out about Quest Priests, the Conscious Call is also really good because it gives you the Ancient Cracker Veins, which are going to deal 5/5 damage. And as you guys can see, look at that. My Ice Trap pretty much prevented this priest. I pretty much stopped this priest from completing his quest in just one turn. Okay? And sometimes one turn, as you guys are going to be seeing later on in the game, it's going to be the difference between you winning the matchup and you losing the matchup. Because Quest Priest games are most of the time going to be like somewhat really close. Again, that's why you want to make sure that you maintain your composure and you focus on getting value, and you also prioritize completing your quest. He is going to, you know, activate this Void Shard, but he's not going to be getting a lot of value out of it, right? I pretty much forced his hand here because he didn't really get a lot of healing from it. And of course, he had to take out the minion in the board as well. I was playing this game and I was like, man, this is going to be a YouTube game. That's why I was like, you know, touching the after action thingy. All right, so let's move on forward to the next play. I'm gonna put Freezing Trap so I can add Frost into the spell pool. And then, like I said, I am going to focus on some card draw. I believe he's in the second phase or third, no, yeah, the second phase or first phase of his quest. I think it's second phase this time around. So I know I pretty much have way more than enough time to actually get some more card draw and get some more value. There we go. Okay, so he's in 5 costs and he's in 6 costs. Now, something that I've also noticed about quest priests that you guys need to understand, every single time that they're using a card to deal with something on your board that doesn't really advance their quest, it's pretty much resources that you're taking away from them. The more resources you take away from them, the easier time you're going to have at completely annihilating these fools. Specifically, if they start using healing really, really early. Anyways, right here, I'm going to go for my Arcane Shot. This is going to give me the 0 mana hero power. And I'm also going to go for the Wound Prey. Now, I could have saved the Wound Prey for a minion, but I didn't. The reason for that is because I want to make sure that when I get Beastalker Tavish, or yeah, Tavish the marksman, whatever he's called, I want to make sure that I can get him guaranteed on 1 turn and that I can play him as well. Because like I said, I did lose against a quest priest that actually ate my Tavish with Mutanis. And fun fact, actually, I lost by 1 health. Like, the guy had 1 health on the last turn and I had to concede because I just didn't really have any spells. I don't really fully remember. But right here, I'm going to get Tavish Master Marksman. Yeah, that's actually his name. And I'm going to shoot the face. Shoo shoo. And then I'm going to play Tavish. So my game plan is pretty simple from now on. He has to get 5, 6 cost minion played, 7 and 8. And he also has to play the Taunt Lady. And then he has to pretty much discover the quest. So I have more than enough time. I want to remind you guys, by the way, that this guy has a 5 mana card in his hand. And he could have played it this turn to advance his quest, but he didn't. He wanted to take out my Tavish. Personally, I think that was a huge misplay. I think I would have just played the 5 mana and advanced the quest because he could have just taken out my Tavish with one of his minions, right? I do a little misplay here and I actually, you know, miss damage on my hero power. I got a little too excited, you know, throwing all of those spells. I was going to take out at least 1 minion in his board. That's something that I knew I was going to do, but thankfully the Shell Shot actually did it. Okay, so that leads me forward to the next thing that I want to talk about in this video. Somewhat in the mid game, when he's around the 5 to 6 cost minions and the 7 to 8 cost minions, the board might get a little out of hand, right? And the quest priest is going to have like a ton of minions, you know, on the board. So you do want to make sure that you're also doing a somewhat good job at controlling the board with your spells. That's usually what I try to do. And I usually try to shoot the hero power to the face, Let me know if anyone got that reference in the comment sections. Maybe I'm just too old. So yeah, that is one key takeaway that I want you guys to keep in mind when you're playing XL Quest Hunter. I think I actually did a misplay here personally. I left the hyena actually to live. And the reason why that's a misplay is because I also want to talk about that. Not only do you have to be careful that the priest does not end up, you know, eating your Tavish with Mutanis, but he also has the Colossal minion, which is going to be doing lifesteal. So if you have minions on the board and you're playing the minion and then he summons the Colossal, he's going to be getting a lot of health from that. And yes, I do try to prioritize to take out the Colossal minion as fast as possible if he for some reason summons it. Sometimes you're also going to have to be forced to, you know, summon a minion on the board to, you know, add some pressure or take out some of his minions as well. Thankfully, that wasn't necessary. And I actually want to go ahead and point out, guys, the reason why this strategy works really well. The strategy where you somewhat complete your quest in the early stages, but you also focus on card draw. And then you completely burn your opponents towards the end of the turn. And then, of course, use hand soap and body wash because your plays were nasty. The reason why the strategy works so well is because you guys have to keep in mind that technically what you're also doing is you're basically drawing cards from your deck that you might not really have a lot of uses out of. And you're also adding a lot of spells into your hand that you're going to be able to use in the late game so that you can, of course, dish out a lot of damage. I mean, as you guys are seeing, in the gameplay in the background, I was just getting spell after spell after spell, and I was just dishing out massive damage, a ton of pressure towards this guy's face. Right here in this play, I'm going to go for the Spring the Trap, because I know I'm either going to get an explosive trap or an ice trap, and I just want to add some pressure into my opponents. I want him to play around that. Like, yeah, you could attack me face, but you are going to take damage, so that's going to help me. Or, of course, he is going to be thinking, is it a freezing trap? Is it an ice trap? Stuff like that. And I actually wanted to go ahead and retouch upon why this strategy works really well, because I know there might be some folks that might say, oh, you just got lucky on your matches against Quest Priest. It worked for you, like it's not really working for me. I'm telling you guys, if you use this strategy, you're gonna be able to come out on top. Now, do understand sometimes you're just, going to go against opponents that do high roll a lot. That is going to be the case sometimes, and you might lose a couple of matches here and there, but this is, I guess, in my opinion, the most consistent method. Alright, let's go ahead and get back to the plays. Explosive Trap. Then I'm going to go for the Bunker, which is going to not do me anything anymore because I have all of my secrets. But another thing that I want to point out is, as you guys saw, I had bunkers after I played Tavish, Master Marksman, or whatever. So that was going to give me 1-cost secrets, which means that if I don't have any secrets on the field, I can just constantly be resetting my hero power over and over and over again. And I'm actually really thankful that he didn't have Mutanus here. I mean, maybe if he did have Mutanus, he could have eaten my Renathal. But you guys are about to see how we finish off Scam Lord here. Thankfully, he did not scam us. So we're going to activate Spring Trap. We're going to go for the hero power. And as you guys can see, this is going to be the finisher. Going against XL Quest Hunter might not be the most satisfying thing, and that's actually why I started playing the deck, by the way, guys. I was just getting tired of losing to XL Quest Hunter. If you can't beat him, join him. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, drop it a like and subscribe to my channel. Peace.